Welcome to Lockeroom All Access, and we're here live today at the Georgia Dome for today's huge battle of the real GSU matchup between the Georgia State Panthers and the Georgia Southern Eagles, man.
I love this football weather, man. I love this football, man. Georgia State, the Panthers versus the Eagles is going down. Locker Room All Access, we here covering the game, man. Tuck, what's up?
It's gonna be a great game. The crowd's gonna be crazy. People say it's hard for them to pack the dome out. When we saw that schedule at the end of the year, we started with this game. We said this game gonna be, as we would say, lit.
Yeah.
So this game is gonna be a great game. It's gonna be a huge match. Like I said, the crowd participation is going to definitely be there for both sides, for State and Southern. I'm just interested to see what's going to happen. I want to see how Georgia Southern, how the two contrasting styles play. You know, Georgia Southern offense is a run-first offense. True. And Georgia State's defense is gonna have to contain the running offense of Southern. And then for Georgia State, when they have the ball, they're a pass-first team, and Georgia Southern's gonna have to defend the pass. So it's gonna be a contrast of styles, on whoever can oppose their will on the other team will come out victorious today, man.
All right, you heard it. It's game time here at the Georgia Dome. GSU Panthers versus the GSU Eagles. Rivalry 2016. Stay tuned to the Locker Room All Access for full recaps of today's game.
Locker Room All Access halftime reports. We're here at the Georgia Dome as the Georgia State Panthers lead the Georgia Southern Panthers 20-17, alongside my co-host Buck. Buck, what you think about your thoughts on the first half, man?
The Georgia State Panthers started off to an excellent start at first. They had
started off to a 20-0 start.
Yeah, it was a nice start at first. Offense was progressive. Defense was sustained at a reasonable level to where the players could elevate themselves to gain more success to the next quarter. Overall, for Georgia State, I think that they need to figure out offense. They need to get that ball out a little bit more. Run game, they need to pound the ball a little bit more so they can establish the run game. They did have a big run between Glenn Smith, number 17. They did have for a first touchdown run today. So they did have a great run with him today. But we just can't get settled and comfortable at those points of the game. You got up 20 points in the first half, in the first quarter, and now they're up to a 3-point in between a 3-point game right now, going into halftime. So that says that the defense is the offense has to put points on the board, and the defense needs to back them up when they need to be able to back them up and then help them balance that offense out. Other than that, Georgia Southern running game, quarterback phenomenal. Quarterback is phenomenal. Other than that, man, Tuck, what did you think about the first half?
Like you said, quarterback Kevin Ellison really became the X factor in the first half for Georgia Southern. So he went out with the injury late in the half. I don't know if he's going to come back. He was the difference. He had over 6 carries, 70 yards, average 8.5 yards per carry. So that was the difference in the first half. Anytime you face a running quarterback, the running quarterback is always a factor because it becomes the running quarterback is more of a threat because now it becomes 10. He's unaccounted for. He's unaccounted for. Normally when you run the ball, it's 9 on 11, but you got the running back and the quarterback out of the play because you can't the ball out. But now, when you're running the ball with the quarterback, you have an extra man, have an extra blocker to match up with all the blockers. So you have another chance to run the ball. So he was able to run the ball a lot, and on that first scoring drive for Georgia Southern, he started keeping the ball. He actually kept the ball like 5 times in that scoring drive. So he was controlling and dictating more of the offense. So I feel that
you think that when the quarterback was keeping the ball, do you think it kind of confused Georgia State's defense a little bit on how should they position their players in the coverage?
You shouldn't be confused. If you watch the film, that's what he does. He's a running quarterback. That's what he does. That shouldn't be no confusion. You got to watch film. It's called alignment and assignment. You know what's happening. You know he's going to run the ball. Everybody got to stay in that rush lane. And secondly, when he drops back to pass, defense, the D-line has to stay in a rush lane. You can't rush too far up the field against a running quarterback. If you create a rush lane, you got to stay in your lanes so you don't create a running lane for him. Also, he was able to start to throw the ball. And another thing that was able to help Georgia Southern out is hurting Georgia State. You got to keep an eye on the second half. It's special teams. Georgia State missed the extra point. They got a block. They got a block field goal. And then on the punt return, what's his name? Monte Crockett has two. He has 2 returns for 70 yards, which set up both touchdowns. It actually set up the touchdown into the half. So the coach has to tell the punter, punt the ball out of bounds. You can't punt on the ball. If you do, you're gonna keep on gashing you and keep making the players. So like I said, for Georgia Southern, keep on. Like I want to see what's gonna happen in the second half without the quarterback, without Ellison. See how they move the ball. They brought in the quarterback number 10, something. They brought him in the last play of the half. I saw him able to take off. He had some wheels on him. Actually, last week he actually played. He had a good game. He threw for over like 230 yards, like the most yards from Georgia Southern in history for the last couple of years. So that should be a good big X factor for him. As far as Georgia Southern, continue to get the running game going more. Also, Georgia State was able to find a matchup between in the secondary with the inside slot, whether it was Lensman coming out the backfield or Rucker in that tight end. The matchup against we found a matchup against the linebacker of Georgia Southern. So keep an eye on that in the second half. Second half, it should be a real good second half.
A quick first half, first quarter to second quarter recap. How did you feel about Robert Davis and his performance for the first half? As him being a star big player.
Robert did what he did. Anytime Connor and Robert see one-on-one on the outside and the corners playing man coverage, the safety's not to that side, he's on the hash and you can't get over there, they're gonna go deep. So they just gotta keep getting Robert, find different ways to get Robert the ball. Whenever he's one-on-one, they gotta take advantage of that.
Absolutely. And so you heard it here first. The Locker Room All Access, NDORadio.com. We're here right now. We're gonna take it back to the Georgia State versus Georgia Southern halftime report. We're gonna see you at the end of the game.
Incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 32.
Else would go out there and be a pro. We're all getting paid. Even the students now are getting paid a little bit, these student athletes. So I said, this is what pros do. They go out and they take care of business. And I was telling Allison, this didn't surprise me at all because of the week we had starting Monday. We had great...
You know, we get them the lead and they'll shut down. This seemed like the first time in the last few weeks you felt real good and really letting it go downfield today.
Yeah, I mean,
Welcome to the Lockeroom Access post-game show. I'm here with your boy Tuck, my co-host Buck, and today Georgia State was able to get the 30-24 victory over Georgia Southern. The third time they've met in this rivalry. The first time 2014, the first match 69-31. The W went to Georgia Southern last year, 34-37 down in Statesboro. Georgia State was able to come away with the victory, and today was a rubber match, and Georgia State was able to get the victory. Also, it was a big victory for all the seniors who went out on top today. Also for the whole team, because Coach Trent Miles, who was the head coach, was the lead of his duties earlier in the week, so that added a little more motivation for the team to get that victory today.
Yeah, man, it was a great, hard matchup from both teams. Georgia State, on the other hand, they were superb. They had a lot of motivation. They had crowd participation. They had animosity. They had tension. They had everything that you needed to make this football game be developed and them to come out with the W today. Georgia State made that happen. Georgia Southern did fall short on help, but they still have a good program, still have talented athletes on both sides of the field. My key player for today, Glenn Smith, number 17. Phenomenal athlete. Kind of remind me of myself when I used to play the game, but superb. I don't have his numbers in front of me right now, but he would be my MVP for today's game just off of his performance and his value that he brought to the team. What did you think, Tuck?
Yeah, man, Glenn Smith was definitely a problem that he was a matchup problem, either him coming out the backfield or him lining up in the slot. Just in general, him lining up in the slot, and also Keith Rucker played big today. He had like 6-7 catches over like 150 yards and a touchdown. He was big, so basically they was able to exploit the Georgia Southern Eagles in the middle of the field with the linebackers. They was able to use the run game, the play action pass on the run. The linebackers would get sucked up, and the middle of the field was open. And you got to give props to Connor Manning. He was able to find holes in that zone today and get the ball. And most importantly, he didn't turn the ball over, and that's big. And also, Georgia State was able to win turnover margin. That was big. They forced, I want to say, 3 fumbles. They forced 3 fumbles. So anytime you can win a turnover margin in football, that's always a plus. And then you are at home. You got the home field event, the crowd behind you. That all plays into the part. So I feel like that was another thing that helped Georgia State come away with the victory today, man.
So one more thing, with Georgia State coming up with that victory today, this was their last time playing in the Georgia Dome. Next season they will be playing in Turner Field. Do you feel that the cold or the weather climate will be an effect of their gameplay since they've been used to the Dome since the program first started?
I mean, oh yeah, that'll always be a factor that you're playing outside. I don't care what nobody say, even if it's 50 degrees, it's cold. Cold is cold. So the outside environment that's gonna be a test for them late in the season next year when the temperature actually gets cold. So yeah, like we said, Georgia State will be at Turner Field next year. Turner Field is being converted into their new stadium. $50 million is what they're using to run out the stadium. It'll be 22,000 stadium, so team stadium. So that's what they'll be playing at next year. Like I said, no more Georgia Dome for Georgia State. Also, another thing that made this victory sweeter, they was able to eliminate Georgia Southern from bowl contention, because Georgia Southern would have won their last 2, they would have been bowl eligible. With the loss today, Georgia State knocks them out of that, so that makes the victory that much sweeter. So, in the Battle of GSU 2016, the win goes to Georgia State, and Georgia State holds the 2-1 lead against Georgia Southern.
You are now tuned in to the Locker Room All Access. Stay tuned to our YouTube channel and subscribe.